lovelies! In today's video I'm going to be recreating a design by Sarah's Nail Secrets, which was originally inspired by nails by Annabelle. So if you would like to see my take on this design, keep watching. So welcome back to my channel. Something a bit different today, but let's get into it. So for colour I have got Indi-Skies and Ashley. These are from Glam and Glits, and I'm also using Perfect Nails Clear. So I'm building up the background of this nail design, and so I'm doing a bit of a swooshy marble between the two colours and just adding a little bit of clear in between, just as and where I feel I needed it. There was no right or wrong way about doing this. As I said at the start, I was very much inspired by design on Sarah's Nail Secrets YouTube channel, which I will link below. And yeah, so I'm building it from there. So going in between the two colours and the clear, and just covering the whole nail until I'm happy. But as I know I was going to be adding glitter and crystals on top of this, it didn't have to be perfect. It was just there for a little bit of colour in between all of those little bits. Touch more of the blue because I felt it was quite grey heavy. And then once I'm happy with that as a base, I'm going to let it set and we're going to go in with the sparkles. And for that I've got Pure from the Indian Summer collection, and I've got Tomorrowland from the Festival collection. These are from the nail team. And then this is something I mixed up with a sort of iridescent-y blue dust I had, a touch of white acrylic and lots of clear, in fact. So I'm following the line of the swoosh, and I'm sort of doing a couple of lines of the pure glitter, sort of overlapping between the blue and the grey. And then I am going in with some stars, and I want to overlap those on the whole thing, on the glitter, on the acrylic, but following that line. And then in between I'm picking up a bead of my little mix and going in between, and this just adds a little bit of extra shimmer, a bit of extra pizzazz. As I said, there is no right or wrong way to do this. It's how you feel. The focus for this nail for me was in my crystal placement. This was just there behind all of that. And then once that has all set, I'm going to cap the nail in my clear acrylic. Now obviously if I was working on a full hand I would do all fingers and then cap, but because I was just doing the one finger for this design, wanted to let it set, because there's nothing worse than spending a bit of time on crystal and star placement and then coming in to cap it and moving it all around. It's heartbreaking. It makes you want to cry. So quite a long nail, so as I would with longer nails, I start halfway down, cap to the tip, and then work up the nail, getting to the cuticle where I'll then make sure I put in my apex. Capping the nail is where you bring in all your strength, your structure, all that jazz. Everything that I say in all my other videos. The only difference here, I'm only doing one nail. And if you are wondering, the finger that I'm using is a flexi finger. This is one of the fingers I had from my original full hand, just took one of them for a single design, and I've just used a stiletto sort of display tip, found one that fit, pushed it in at that cuticle slit and worked straight onto that. So I'm just patting down all that acrylic now, looking to see if there are any dips or any bumps that need evening out. Do as much work as you can with your brush because that does minimise file time. And then, something different, I mean this whole video is different, I'm going to leave some filing in. So once that acrylic is all set, first thing I do is file my side walls. I like to get them nice and straight, nice and crisp, tidy up that point for the stiletto, and for this I'm using a 100 grit file. I'm pretty sure it's 100 grit. Normally use 100 grit for this, so that would make sense. So just tidying up those side walls, getting underneath to get rid of any excess and any frills, and now I'm coming in with my e-file to debulk the nail. So starting around the cuticle just to tidy that up, and then I'm just moving down the full surface of the nail. Obviously if you're working on a client you wouldn't pull it out like that, but this is a practice hand with slide-on tips. But yep, just working right down the surface of the nail just to remove any bulk, any extra, and this just makes finish filing that much easier. Now I am e-file qualified. I do not recommend or encourage you to use an e-file if you are not qualified. You can do so much damage, but I do have a certificate, so and I have done a course, so we're good. And I'm just using a fine ceramic bit for this. Dust off the excess dust. This will allow you to see how the nail is looking, and then I decided I just wanted to refine that cuticle bit a little bit more. It wasn't as flush as I'd liked, so I've gone in with a smaller cuticle bit, and actually I think this is extra fine, so not going to do damage with that. Get right in at that cuticle to make it as flush as possible, and then I'm just going over the rest of the nail just to get rid of any little bit more just to get rid of any more bulk that I think I could do with my e-file, and then I go back in with my hand file to finish file. I'd much prefer to finish file with my hand file because I think you can get right in and tidy it up and do a really good job with that. So I'll go back to do those side walls, and then I will go over the surface of the nail, but I've not kept that in. Once I'm happy with it, I am just going over with a white buffing block, which is very unusual for me because I normally use like a file shaped buffer, but I think the buffing block was to hand. Get rid of all the excess dust with my dusty brush, and then I'm using my sanitizer and a lint-free wipe just to give it all a good wipe over, and then just a final dust. I did spray that so it was clean, and there is that nail all filed to perfection. I love a freshly filed nail. Now it's time to bling it up. So this is where we are creating this nail. This is my this is what, I can't even think of the word, it's gone. This is my accent nail. Yes, there we go. So I'm using the gem glue from Perfect Nails, and my nail design is going to be all focused around this Glas Cabochon from Crystal Parade. It was in one of the mixes I got. And then I'm using a mix of clear and opal crystals, again all from Crystal Parade, as is my crystal Katana. Now I am going to do a few videos that are more focused on crystal placement, so I'm not going to talk too much about it today, but the cabochon is the focus of this crystal design, and I'm building everything around it. And the great thing about this gel glue from Perfect Nails is until you cure it, you can move those crystals. So if they're not in the right place, you can adjust them. If you didn't like where you put one, you can move it. It's not stuck down. The only downside to that is they do move around. So you do want to just check the placement before you come to cure. But what I would recommend is if you're doing more of a full nail design with your crystal placement, flash cure, which I'm going to do in a minute, I think. So I'm just getting all of these back into place, and now I'm coming in with a little LED torch and flash curing. You only need to do that for a few seconds. Then touch more of the gel glue, and I'm just going to continue building up around that. And the other reason I like to put lots of little crystals around a big stone like that is because it just helps keep them in place. So I'm going in between crystal clear and opals and just bringing them down the nail a little bit, and then I'm going to flash cure again for sort of 10 seconds, and then I'm going to pop it in my lamp for a full 60-second cure. I flash cure it first because it just means when I come to move the finger into the lamp, they don't move. As you can see, as I brought the torch in, they had moved slightly, so I just used the end of my katana to put them in place. Once I've fully cured that glue, we're gonna top coat. So I'm using the Perfect Nails top coat. I've done the bulk of the nail with the brush from the bottle, and then I've just decanted a little and I'm getting in with a fine brush all in and around those crystals. This is just a bit of extra security to hold them in place. And when that's done, we're going to pop it in the LED lamp and we're going to cure for 60 seconds. And then that is my recreation done. And I'm calling this my Moonstone Opal design. I do hope you have enjoyed this design and this video. I would love any feedback in the comments section down below. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. Check out the description box for product links and all that information, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye! Mwah!